Man, this is a terrible haircut. Okay, before I start today's or tonight's video, update on the most interesting that happened today is my fan broke. So like, look at him. Every time I open him, he's like shivering. He's like having a seizure, like a cat dropped in a cold shower or bathtub, bro. Whenever I use this at night, I am constantly worried that when I wake up in the morning, this will be outside. Yeah, man, I don't know. Okay, anyways, today's video, how I see people, and yes, you can see the reflection in my eyes. I have my laptop open, so I am not, this is not an on-the-spot video. I have an outline of what I want to say, because I want to keep this quick and short as much as I can, because this can get very long. I believe this could be 30 minutes, and I'm yapping and I'm wasting my time. Why I made this video is because I just want to answer one of the most important questions a person can ask me, and vice versa. This is one of the most important questions I can ask someone, especially those who are very close to me, is how do you see the world, or what does the world look like to you, or in my case, what the world looks like to me. But not really the world. I narrow it down to people because world is a different thing. Let's just say people, how I approach people I meet, individuals. And I believe I see people quite differently, but that's what everyone says. I'm an observer. I think of people as books to read, to study, to personalities, to psychoanalyze. I know, it sounds typical. Sounds like I just watched Classroom of the Elite or some cringe anime that revolves around outsmarting people through studying them constantly. But I'm getting some. I have something. Okay, but how this comes with its pros and cons. This leads me to be a little judgmental and criticizing. The amount of times where my brain would just make side comments on its own of people because of what they do and what they say, even though it has nothing to do with me in the first place. It gets annoying, and I think it could be a condition because I want to think in peace, and I shouldn't care about other people. I should be focused on myself and myself only. So it has its cons, but it has its pros, and I do have a system for this. I'll dive deeper into that later in the video. But basically, the problem is I have an obsession. It's already a problem. With as much objectivity as possible. Let's just say I have an obsession with trying to understand an individual or people I meet. It stemmed from my interest in just stories in general. I like to understand your lore, your backstory. Why people think the way they think? Why do you have an opinion on this issue? What experiences and perhaps even traumas you went through to have this outlook on certain things? Just why? I know I shouldn't really poke around with these things. Like it doesn't matter to me, but to me I place a lot of importance to that when it comes to my relationships, especially those that last a long time, and especially those who are very meaningful to me. I want to be able to understand the, let's just say, the book of their souls. Is that it? The book that they've written so far in their life. Yes, I want to be able to understand why that is. And another reason for this is it is one of my rules in life to become as open-minded as possible, as much as I can. Like to be able to mingle with all kinds of people regardless of their personality or what stereotype they fall under. I want to be able to know, to understand how these people work, how these people groove, how these people vibe. So this is a skill. This is just a skill I think everyone should develop to be able to navigate your way through this complex world of different personalities with their own respective backstories. I just think in order to do that, it requires you to have a deeper understanding of people. And aside from that, and on a more extreme level, is I'd like to have a borderline multiple personality disorder. I know that sounds pretty stupid. Why would I want that? I just do. I just think it's thrilling to be able to simulate personalities. I know it's like putting on a mask. Yes, it sounds pretty terrible and cringe. I just think it's cool. that you'd be able to you'd blend with these people, you'd be able to blend with these people, and you have no problem with either, and you'd also have a sense of self. Anyways, it's just, I think it's a very dangerous skill to have. You know, basically the world, the society, people, they're complicated, and I want to understand them. And if I have an understanding of them, I think that skill, that understanding will serve me good, because I'm a person, and there's so many people in this world. So, yeah. And going back to the con, however, is that yes, this has led me to become pretty judgmental. It is quite ironic. It is hypocritical. I had make a video in hypocrisy soon, since that's a recurring theme in almost all of my arcs in my entire life so far, hypocrisy. Wait, I guarantee that I'll make this video, but like I said, my brain unconsciously just judges people and criticizes them on based on first impressions, and puts them under the stereotype, or like, oh, this person, I've met someone like this before, so definitely they're gonna have some similarities with this person. Oh, that guy wears glasses and he looks like that person from fifth grade. Yeah, I expect that guy to act like, there's a theory to this. I forgot the name, but like when you expect someone to act a certain way or be a certain way, their actions will support that image of you have of them, and it's like a self-fulfilling paradox. That's why I have this system in place. So this system basically is to regard people not as people as they seem to be, but rather as souls and beings to read, like a book basically. Their identity, or what they seem to be like, that's just a surface level of who they are. I don't know the word. The demographics, basically one's characteristics such as gender, sex, age, religion, nationality, beliefs, principles. That's more on the deeper level of things. But basically those things that, oh, man, woman, queer person, Buddhist, Christian, those type of things. I don't know what the umbrella term for all those words are, but basically we cannot avoid that these identities, these, what's the word, these titles their identity bring, basically there are stereotypes attached to these, and we can't help, and I can't help just associate my expectations based on those titles or stereotypes. So what's the system? Basically, as much as possible, I try to single you out and throw out all possible preconceived notions I have about the titles or demographics you fall under. Like, just get rid of all of them. I treat you and isolate people like a story to read, their own unique unique being. Like, it doesn't even have to be human, just legit them, like person, like Homer, me. That's it. And this gets very tricky, disassociating meeting new people with set impressions you have of them because of how they look, like who they are seemingly. To the best of my abilities, I discard any form of mold, that's the word, or presets I have about people. Nerds, jocks, gangsters, guys, gals, any more general characteristic that's broad which defines people, when it barely scratches the person who they really are. I haven't mastered this, but I'm getting there. And vice versa, I don't care about how people regard me as. You can stereotype the heck out of me, I don't care. But like I said, I'd want to achieve a borderline multi-personality disorder that you can't stereotype. Then that's even better, because I've met people like this, and people you can't stereotype and read are very dangerous. You wouldn't want to go against them because they're very unpredictable. Because you'd have to constantly think out of the box and think unconventionally. Because that's the thing, you have a box, and when they pull something off that isn't in the box you expected, then you're just thrown off. So get rid of the box in the first place. Because when you're that stems from when you're forced to approach and regard people as isolated and incredibly unique, complex, beautiful, whatever adjective slates of a soul, of what it means to be a living, breathing being. Like that's it.